All right, I've got the little spacer piece in between the cups covered. It's covered in pretty green fabric. You can see my messy whip stitched seam just holding down the folded part. Again, only you are ever going to see that. You can make it as clean and pretty or as chunky as you want. What it needs to do is just hold your pretty fabric on top of your core fabric. All right, I always need to move cups wider apart because I've got a space of about 3 fingers width in between where my bosoms actually sit in front of my ribs. And I always need to move cups wider apart. So I vaguely know how far that is at this point. So the way you do it is we're going to be using this underwire to sew off of. This is the center part where I just whacked off the insufficiently wide thing. We're putting all this to the inside of the bra because what this does is it pads the underwire and it keeps it from digging into your sternum. It's great. So right here, we're gonna just lay this across and take a pin and stick it behind the underwire, like catch the underwire and then stick it in place. And now get the other side. And you're gonna always, each cup is different. You're gonna have to like mess with it a little bit. So when you're putting it on, make sure it's even. It hits evenly in the front and one side is gonna be longer than the other. You can trim these ends off and later if you want. So now is when we pop this on our torso and we make sure it feels okay, that the spacing's good, and you can have a lightweight shirt on, because if you didn't, that would be a different YouTube. So you're just gonna pull this on and check. For me, I'm really worried that this comes far enough out to the side. This is the part where I'm the most tender and where stuff pinches me the most. So this is about good for me. So these cups are gonna tip a little bit. We'll mess with this other fit. Right now, all we're worried about, does this feel comfortable in between your bosoms, give you appropriate space, and do the cups come wide enough out here? So for me, this is good. I've messed with this enough that I know this is gonna work. So the way we attach these, and again, I'm gonna use the bright white thread so you can see what's happening, because this is gonna get covered up anyway. So we've got our knotted end. We are going to stab behind the underwire. And we've got, leave a little end loose, because now we're gonna come in front, wrap the thread around the underwire and punch through your little spacer piece. Bring your needle up behind and catch that loop. So you've now got a stitch that wraps around the underwire. And there's our stitch right there. The stitch wraps around the underwire. I like going inside the cup. So I go down through the inside of the cup. And then I come out and then I poke through. And again, I'm inside the cup. So you're just wrapping the stitch around the underwire. Don't be dainty with this. This is the part that like holds everything together, so don't mess around with it. So I've got that stitched down. It is messy as you please. Again, I'm cutting under the stitch and I'm gonna catch that loop and tie a knot around my last stitch and do that like 5 times. If you want to, you can glue these. I don't bother because I don't like glue. And take your thread and sink your end before you cut it off. So don't cut it off at the knot. Sink the thread and then bite off. Oh, you should not bite your needles. That's a bad habit, and my dentist yells at me about it. Don't do that. All right, I'm gonna sew the other side. So you'll kind of see that part. And then I probably need to take a break for the evening. Because who amongst us has not worked a full day already? All right, again, so we've got the other side. Go in from the inside of the cup so that you're sewing right inside the underwire. Punch back through. I think this is the easiest way to hold it for me. If I'm holding it in my non-dominant hand, I can like kind of pinch each cup and then it's nice and spaced out. So punch down inside the cup, come back up on the outside of the underwire. Boop. Take another stitch. It doesn't feel like I caught the core fabric. Right. All right, remember, sink the end. Not biting your needle, and cut it off. So there's the spacer in between. You can really get crazy with these if you want. You can make them, you know, triangles. You can like put like curlicues and stiffener and like more appliques and stuff in them. You can make a more triangular trapezoidal shape that's more fitted. If you need more fit, because like this fits me really well to just have one piece right here. If you have hefty bosoms, maybe putting a second one down here or cutting a trapezoid that boop fits this shape right here might be a better option for you. This is just what fits comfortably and puts the tension where I need it. So in the next video, let's talk about where to put straps.